Joining us now live from Virginia, though, Governor Terry McAuliffe. Hey, Governor, great to have you with us.
Hey, John, great to be with you, buddy. Give me your quick prediction. Who wins tonight?
Trump on the Republican side, Bernie Sanders on the Democratic side. I know, Governor, you're a big fan of Hillary Clinton. I believe she'll be the nominee, but I got to tell you, the hotel that I checked into last night was there was a Bernie Sanders rally. The center was there. They had 1,800 people. I mean, I've never seen so much enthusiasm. I think he's going to do real well this evening.
John, I'm going to bet you a beer on this one.
Okay, I'll bet you happy hour because my wife has been on me to get you to invite me to happy hour. You invited everybody to happy hour but me, so we think we're kind of like Swiss cheese. So we want to go to happy hour. So my predictions come out.
What about if I win? I invite you to the governor's mansion to drink my beer is not exactly a winning bet.
Well, the winning bet. I tell you what, if I lose the bet, then I will come to the governor's mansion and eat crow. How about that?
All right, fair enough.
That's a good deal. Right. Look, it's a good. Speaking of good deals, let's get to your compromise that you laid out on guns on your press conference on Friday. Here's my take. I think this is a great compromise. I think what the gun advocates gave up makes a lot of sense. Look, when you have a judge governor sign a permanent restrictive order that says that you can't go within 50 yards, 100 yards of somebody, this isn't signed on a whim. This means there's a real issue. So now if you have a permanent restrictive order, you're not going to be able to have a concealed weapon. And then the other thing, at the shows, you have state police there, and voluntarily you can do a background check. What's the matter with that?
Nothing. In fact, let's add a little more meat to it, John. The two things we agree. Listen, these are both my bills that I proposed to the General Assembly. So they're approving both of the two bills that I had in. And the one, the protective order, under Virginia law today, you can possess and transport. I mean, you cannot purchase and you can transport. What we're changing is now you cannot possess. And if you do possess, John, listen to this, very important. And we're only one of 16 states now that will have this. And now you will be a Class 6 felon if you do not turn or sell your gun within 24 hours. I think we're now one of only 2 states in the nation that has that. So this is very restrictive. And this is very important to me because last year, John, in Virginia, 4 people were killed by the person who had been under a restrictive order. So I, as governor, I'm actually saving lives. And as it relates to the background checks, right now there are 77 gun shows last year. State police were only at 42. They will now be at every single one of them. And at the 42 they went to, only federally licensed dealers could get background checks. Even if you wanted to do one as non-federal, you could not do it. Under this law, every person at a gun show can now have a background check. So if you sell a gun without a federal license and you had the ability to get a background check and you did not do it, it opens yourself up to liability. So I've said this is a huge win. It's not a Democratic win, it's a Virginia win. In the concealed carry, and I appreciate the work that the Attorney General did on this. It got us to the table, but we have no record of anyone in the last 25 years being injured or hurt with someone who came into our state with a concealed weapon. So I balance that against 4 deaths last year, and what my number one priority is background checks.
Well, listen, Governor, here's the bottom line. We are in a divided government in Virginia, and so you're going to have to compromise to get anything done. And a lot of us were very upset over the Attorney General's revocation of the 25-state Reciprocity Act. Somebody inadvertently goes into Virginia. All of a sudden, they're committing an illegal act. They don't even know what is going on. So that didn't make any sense. You expanded that to 50 states. That makes a lot of sense to us. But look, when you've got the extremists on both ends, both of them hate the deal, that probably means it's a good thing for everybody else, for Virginians, right?
That's right. And listen, this is the most significant gun safety legislation in over 20 years. 23 years, John. This is the first time this has happened. It's a win-win. And as you know, I already had 4 Democrats that said they were going to vote for the reciprocity bill that had been proposed in the General Assembly. So on the Democratic side, there wasn't unanimity on this issue. So I took what I had.
Right.
I got background checks, which is something I've always wanted. In addition, I've been very concerned, and they stood with me at the press conference, the women on this issue of these restraining orders, and the idea that Virginia is now one of 16 states, and Virginia now, I think it's Connecticut and us now, this Class 6 felony, you lose your gun for life. That's a good common sense. It saves lives. It's good for everybody. It's good public safety. And I stood with Colonel Flaherty of the Virginia State Police, who said to me, Governor, what you did today makes Virginia safer. That's what makes me sleep easier at night.
Well, look, I think you did the right thing, and it's not logical, a permanent restrictive order signed by a judge to have access to a concealed weapon. I mean, these things are not signed, like I said earlier, these things are signed to have a permanent restrictive order. Something bad is happening for a judge to sign that. So I think this is perfectly logical. The other thing that I think I'm so enthusiastic is the fact that we now have state police at all the gun shows for voluntary background checks. I mean, I don't know how you could be more gun-friendly than saying we're going to give everybody the opportunity to have a voluntary background check. I think that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because literally you could get to that. You could go to a gun show today, go to a federal license. He says there's an issue here. You're going to have to come back or whatever. That guy knows there's a problem. He walks 4 or 5 booths down to a non-registered, federal registered one, and he buys the handgun. How does that make any sense?
Doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
I want to applaud you, Governor, for your leadership on this. This took real leadership. I think you did the absolute right thing, and I commend you on it. And I'll look forward to my wife and I having happy hour with you at the mansion after I win this evening's bet.
You got a deal. Good luck out there, John.